Listen, I haven't come here to speak against women. I have come to speak against attachment. Because where there is attachment, neither the man is free nor the woman. And when I say rise above the attachment to a woman, I am not addressing the woman, I am addressing the knot within you. First of all, sink this truth deep into your heart. The woman is not the problem. Attachment is the problem. But the mind is very clever. It hangs that attachment onto a person and then says, she's the cause. No, the cause is your own unconsciousness. Woman is energy, she is nature, she is creation, but you turn her into an object. And wherever you turn someone into an object, that is exactly where the fall begins. You ask, then what is attachment? Listen carefully. Attachment means trying to fill your own emptiness through another. When you are vacant within yourself, you seek a grip on the outside, sometimes in wealth, sometimes in position, and very often in a woman. But remember, what is empty inside will never be filled from the outside. Therefore, you don't fall in love, you fall into dependency, and dependency is not love. Attachment to a woman means you don't make her a mirror, you make her a crutch. And a person standing on a crutch can never stand straight. I have seen thousands of people. They say, I love, but in their love there is fear, there is possession, there is jealousy. And where there is fear, there is no love. Keep in mind that attachment is always born out of fear. The fear of being left alone, the fear of remaining incomplete. And this fear does not pull you toward the woman, it pulls you away from yourself. Now, listen to an illustration. A man was wandering, thirsty, in the desert. He saw a mirage in the distance. He ran and fell. A woman is not a mirage. But your imagination turns her into a mirage. You don't see the woman as she is. You want to see her as you want her to be. That is where attachment is born. Attachment means the loss of the capacity to see the other. And the person who cannot see, how can they love? Love comes from seeing. Attachment comes from blindness. I am not telling you to run away from women. Running away is just another form of attachment. I am saying wake up. Wake up and see what you are searching for in a woman: pleasure, security, identity. If you are searching for any of these, you are not in love, you are in a business deal. And in business, the soul dies. Remember, rising above the attachment to a woman is not going away from her. It is setting her free, and yourself as well. When attachment falls away, the woman doesn't become a goddess, nor does she remain an object. She becomes a human being, and only then is a true relationship possible. In this first part, just see this much. The woman is not the problem. Your unconscious mind is the problem. Now I will slowly take you into the layers of that unconscious where lust, fear, and ego are all hidden. Listen, I am now going to explain a very subtle difference to you. Most people, because they fail to understand this difference, either go into suppression or drown in blind lust. Neither path leads toward liberation. First, let me clarify one thing. Lust is not a sin. Attachment is not a sin either. There is only one sin: unconsciousness. Lust is the language of the body. Attachment is a trick of the mind. And love is the flower of consciousness. Now understand, what is lust? Lust is the energy given by nature. Its job is creation. When lust arises, the body is speaking. This is neither good nor bad. It is just like feeling hungry. But you link lust with the mind and its demands. And that is where attachment is born. What is attachment? Attachment is born when you add imagination to lust. The body wants touch. The mind adds, she must be mine forever. She shouldn't be able to live without me. This is how lust becomes attachment. Remember, lust is momentary. Attachment is the illusion of being permanent. Lust comes, is fulfilled, and goes away. Attachment creates a grip. And where there is a grip, pain is certain. I have seen people, they say, I want a woman. Actually, they don't want a woman. They want their own incomplete identity. A woman gives them the feeling that they are important, and that is the most dangerous attachment. Now, here an illustration. A man was standing in front of a mirror. He started loving the mirror. He felt, this completes me. The mirror broke. The man cried. The problem wasn't the mirror. The problem was that he never saw himself. A woman is a mirror, but you get stuck to the mirror. That is where attachment takes birth. Now understand why suppression is dangerous. Some people, fearing attachment, suppress lust. They say, stay away from women. This is not a solution. This only makes the disease deeper. Suppressed lust does not become holy. It becomes poison. And then that same person falls into even deeper attachment through hidden paths. That is why I say not suppression, but awareness. When lust arises, watch it. Neither accept it nor reject it. Just watch that energy has arisen in the body. If you keep watching, a miracle happens. Lust slowly begins to transform. That energy rises upward. And when that same energy reaches the heart, its name becomes love. In love, there is no grip. In love, there is no demand. Love says, you are free. And attachment says, you are mine. Now look at what language you are speaking. If the voice inside you says she cannot live without me, then understand you are in attachment. And if there is peace inside saying she is beautiful just as she is, then understand a glimpse of love has arrived. Remember, attachment always lives in the future. Love lives only in the present. Attachment says, what will happen tomorrow? Love says, what is right now? Therefore, the person who rises above the attachment to a woman is not deprived of the woman. He is able to truly see the woman for the first time. In this part, just understand this much. Lust is energy, attachment is an illusion, and love is the fruit of awareness. Now I will take you to the next step where we become clear how the ego deepens this attachment. Listen, now we are reaching the root where attachment is strongest. The name of that root is ego. The ego is very subtle. It doesn't openly say, I am powerful. It says, someone wants me. And that's where the woman becomes the easiest food for the ego. Listen carefully. This is about the woman. It's about your ego. When a woman wants you, your ego swells up. You say, I am worthy. I am special. And if she creates distance, that same ego gets wounded. You say, she rejected me. Remember, where there is a fear of being rejected, there is no love, only ego. Ego always thinks in the language of getting. You say, I have gotten her. This sentence in itself is violent. Can you get the sky? Can you get a river? A woman is also a sky, a flow, and the ego turns her into an object. Getting means possession, and where there is possession, freedom dies. Now an illustration. A man loved a bird. He said, I will keep you in a cage so no one else can see you. The bird died. Love didn't kill it. The desire to get killed it. This is what happens with women. You say, I want you so much, but inside there's a hidden voice, you are mine. This mine is not a word of love, it is the proclamation of the ego, and the ego wants only one thing, control. You want to control the woman through her clothes, her friendships, her thoughts, and then you say, I am protecting her. No, you are protecting your own ego. Now, a very difficult but true point, ego is the enemy of love. Where there is love, there is humility. Where there is ego, there is demand. Love says, you are free. Ego says, you are nothing without me. And this sentence is the greatest insult because no soul is anyone's property. This is why attachment always gives pain. The more you try to get, the more you lose. Now, the question is how to rise above the ego. The answer is very simple but not easy. Look, whenever the desire arises within you, she should be mine, stop at that very moment. Don't blame that desire. Don't fight it. Just see that the ego is seeking its security. Just by watching, its grip becomes loose. And one day you'll find you are with the woman, but you are not riding on her. That is true companionship. Remember, the companionship that steals freedom is not companionship. It's a bond. And in a bond, neither love nor bliss can flourish. In this part, just see deeply, the root of attachment is ego, and the food of ego is the desire to possess. Now I will take you deeper, where it will be clear how fear, loneliness, and insecurity give birth to this attachment. Listen, now I will take you to the place where attachment gets the most energy. The name of that place is loneliness. But first understand one very important thing. Loneliness and solitude are not the same. Solitude is rich. Loneliness is poor. In solitude, you are complete with yourself. In loneliness, you are running away from yourself. Now see, what is the real source of attachment to a woman? When you feel emptiness within yourself, you seek fulfillment outside. And a woman becomes the easiest fulfillment because woman is affection, touch, and closeness. But the woman is not the problem. The problem is that you're afraid of your loneliness, afraid of silence, afraid of sitting with yourself. Therefore, you make someone essential. And where someone becomes essential, that's where attachment begins. I will tell you a harsh truth. A person who cannot be alone cannot love. Because love comes from being whole, not from lack. From lack, only clinging comes. Now, an illustration. A man was sitting in a dark room. He was feeling afraid. He called someone to hold his hand. The fear didn't decrease because the darkness was still there. The master said, light the lamp. A woman can hold your hand, but you have to light the lamp yourself. The lamp of loneliness is lit from within. Now understand why people cling so much in relationships. They say, how will she live without me? Actually, they are saying, how will I live without myself? This acceptance requires great courage, and this courage is the first step of liberation. I am not saying create distance from women. I am saying make friends with your loneliness. Sit with yourself for a few moments during the day without a phone, without music, without the memory of anyone. In the beginning there will be anxiety. The mind will say, do something. But if you stay, one day that anxiety will turn into peace. And on that day, a miracle will happen. You will see that now you are looking at the woman not out of need, but out of joy. Need always creates pressure. Joy never does. Now the woman doesn't complete you. Now you are with her by being complete. This is rising above attachment. Remember, the one who runs from loneliness will fall into attachment. The one who stays in solitude will rise in love. In this part, just see deeply. You don't cling to a woman because she is beautiful, but because you are uncomfortable with yourself. Now, I will take you even deeper, where it will be clear how sexual energy rises and how attachment is transformed into meditation. Listen, now we are going to talk about the energy that people both feel and get trapped in. The name of that energy is sexual energy. First of all, let me break a myth. Sexual energy is not a sin. It is the basic force of life. From that same energy, a seed becomes a sprout. From that same energy, a flower blooms. From that same energy, consciousness can rise. But you have only made one experiment with this energy, indulgence. Indulgence is not wrong, but it is incomplete. In indulgence, energy flows downward. In transformation, energy rises upward. Now understand the difference between suppression and transformation. What is suppression? Suppression means pushing the energy down because of fear, because of morality, because of society. Suppressed energy is not liberated. It becomes frustration, it becomes violence, it becomes hidden attachment. A person who suppresses looks holy on the outside but is boiling inside. I have seen monks who run away from women, but their minds are filled with pictures of women. This is not liberation. This is a disease. What is transformation? Transformation means understanding the energy, watching it and letting it rise. When sexual energy arises, don't run from it. Don't suppress it. Just be a witness. See that a wave has arisen in the body. If you keep watching, an amazing thing happens. Instead of running downward, the energy starts sliding upward. First, it is in the abdomen, then it comes to the heart, and when that same energy reaches the heart, its name is no longer lust, it becomes love. In love, there is no hurry. In love, there is no grip. And if that same energy rises even further, it becomes compassion. And if it rises even further, it becomes meditation. This is the true meaning of brahmacharya. Brahmacharya does not mean staying away from women. Brahmacharya means the upward flow of energy. Now, an illustration. A river descends from a mountain. If it keeps flowing only downward, it can become a swamp. If that same river starts rising up, it becomes a cloud. Sexual energy is also a river. If you keep draining it only into indulgence, attachment will be created. If you learn to watch it, that same energy will lift you up. Therefore, I say, don't run away from women. Don't remain ignorant of energy. Be near the woman, but be aware. Let there be touch, but no unconsciousness. Let there be closeness, but no dependency. Only then does attachment slowly start to melt. And one day you find the woman no longer pulls you down. She lifts you up because now you are the master of the energy. The energy is not your master. Remember, the day sexual energy drives you, you are a slave. The day you can watch the energy, you begin to be free. In this part, just understand this much. Attachment is the fall of energy. Meditation is the rise of energy. Now I will take you to the next step where it will be clear that love and compassion are not different but the same flow. Listen, now we are entering the land where very few people reach, because here the ego cannot survive. The name of this land is compassion. What most people call love is actually very far from compassion, because there is demand in their love, and where there is demand, there is no compassion. First, understand that love and compassion are not two different things. Compassion is the mature state of love. Love is incomplete as long as there is the scent of ownership in it. You say, I love you, but an expectation is hidden inside. You stay according to me. This very expectation drops love into attachment. Compassion has no expectation. Compassion says, you're perfect just as you are. Now understand why attachment is the enemy of compassion. Attachment says, give me happiness. Compassion says, may you be happy. Attachment is centered on the self. Compassion is centered on the existence of the other. Therefore, I say, as long as you consider a woman a means for your happiness, you are in attachment. And the day you can see the woman as an independent consciousness, that is the day compassion is born. Now, an illustration. A man used to say, I love my wife very much. The master asked, if she leaves you tomorrow? The man went silent. The master said, where there is fear, there is no love. There is no fear in compassion. Compassion knows that what has come will go, and what will go was never mine. This understanding is very deep. Now see, what is the connection of compassion with a woman? When you are in compassion with a woman, you don't try to change her. You are not afraid of her freedom. You don't weigh her happiness against your ego. Only then does the relationship become holy. I am not saying compassion is sentimentality. Compassion is not weakness. Compassion is the result of the death of the ego. And when the ego dies, attachment falls away on its own. Now, a very important point, compassion does not mean sacrifice. Compassion means the state of being a witness. You see the other person is in pain. You don't run to fix them. You remain present with them. This presence is the greatest gift. Attachment always seeks a solution. Compassion is content in just being together. Therefore, there is no hurry in compassion. And where there is no hurry, there is peace. Remember, attachment exhausts you. Compassion lightens you. If you get tired being with a woman, understand there is attachment. If you become more peaceful being with a woman, understand the touch of compassion has happened. In this part, just see deeply, love is not complete until it becomes compassion. Now I will take you to the next step, where it would be clear how relationship can become a spiritual practice, and how liberation is possible even while living with a woman. Listen, now I bring you to the point where many people get confused. They think if they have to rise above attachment, they must go away from women. No, running away is also another phase of attachment. The one who runs also runs out of fear. And where there is fear, there is no liberation. The real question is not, should I stay with a woman or not? The real question is, am I aware or not? If you are unconscious, you will be in attachment even living alone. And if you are aware, you can remain free even while living with a woman. Now understand how to make a relationship a spiritual practice. First thing, be a witness in the relationship. When you are with the woman, just be present. Don't react immediately. If jealousy arises, watch it. If fear arises, watch it. Don't change anything, just watch. This art of watching turns a relationship into a practice. Second thing, drop expectations. Where there is expectation, the relationship becomes a business. You say, I gave so much. What did you give? This is the language of accounting, not love. In practice, there is no accounting. You give because giving is bliss. Third thing, respect for freedom. If you are afraid of the woman's freedom, know that you are not in love. Love gives wings. Attachment creates a cage. Don't make a cage in a relationship. If the woman blossoms, the relationship is alive. If she shrinks, understand attachment is dominating. Fourth thing, lift the energy. There is a lot of energy in a relationship. If you are unconscious, that same energy becomes lust. If you are aware, that same energy becomes love and meditation. Let there be touch, but with awareness. Let there be closeness, but with consciousness. Only then does the relationship lift you up instead of bringing you down. Fifth thing, don't forget loneliness. While living in a relationship, don't lose your solitude. Keep some time for yourself. A person who cannot live with themselves cannot truly live with anyone. Now, an illustration. A seeker came to a master and said, I am a householder. Is liberation possible? The master asked. Are you aware? The seeker remained silent. The master said, if yes, then every place is an ashram. If no, then there is the world even in an ashram. Understand? That is why I say celibacy is possible, even while living with a woman, because celibacy is not physical distance. Celibacy is the height of consciousness where energy doesn't fall down but rises up. And where energy rises up, attachment melts on its own. In this part, just understand deeply, relationship is not a bond. An unconscious relationship is a bond. Now I will take you to the next step, where it would be clear how beauty, attraction and desire should be seen so they don't become attachment. In part 8, I will talk to you about the secret of beauty and attraction, why getting lost in beauty becomes dangerous, and how beauty can become the door to meditation. Part 8, Beauty and Attraction, the door to attachment or meditation. Listen, now we are entering the territory where even very decent people slip. The name of that territory is beauty. Beauty in itself is not a problem. The problem is getting lost in beauty. Understand carefully. Beauty is the language of God. A flower is beautiful, a sunset is beautiful, a woman is beautiful. But as soon as you try to catch beauty, that's where attachment is born. Beauty is for seeing, not for getting. Now look at what you do. You see a woman, and immediately a desire arises inside. She should be mine. That is when beauty no longer remains meditation. It becomes hunger. There is a very subtle difference. Seeing and wanting are not the same. Seeing is innocent. Wanting is violent. In seeing, you are present. In wanting, you run into the future. That is why I say don't stop at beauty. Let beauty happen. Now an illustration. A man used to come every morning to see a lotus flower. One day he plucked the flower and took it home. The next day, there was no lotus in the pond. He thought, I have lost beauty. No, he lost the relationship. Beauty dies by plucking. The same happens with women. You say, I want her. But inside you want to break her freedom, her movement, her mystery. And when the mystery breaks, attachment turns into boredom. Now understand how to make beauty the door to meditation. Whenever you see beauty in a woman, just stop. Don't let a thought go. Don't weave a future. Just see. While seeing, if you dissolve into beauty, you are in meditation. While seeing, if you start thinking about getting, understand that attachment has opened the door. Remember, beauty is a glimpse of existence. A woman is a living form of that glimpse. But a glimpse is not caught, it is bowed to. That is why in ancient traditions, woman was called venerable. Venerable didn't mean turn her into a goddess. Venerable meant do not bow your ego before her. Worship is not the act of getting, it is the act of bowing. When you bow before beauty, the ego steps back. And when the ego steps back, attachment cannot stay. Now, a very important point. Fearing beauty is also attachment. Some people turn their eyes away from a beautiful woman. They say, this is dangerous. No, your unconsciousness is dangerous. Beauty is a mirror. It shows where you stand. If beauty makes you restless, understand you are unstable inside. If beauty makes you peaceful, understand you are centered inside. This is the test. In this part, just see deeply. Beauty doesn't become attachment. You make it attachment. And the day you stay in silence while looking at beauty, that same day the woman becomes a door, not a bond. Now I will take you toward the end, where there is a deep silence beyond attachment. Listen, now we are very close to the point where words gradually lose their necessity. Because attachment runs on words and truth on silence. Until now you have seen how lust arises, how ego creates a grip, how loneliness creates clinging, how beauty can become either meditation or a fall. Now one last and most subtle layer remains. Its name is wanting. Listen carefully. Attachment is not just the desire to get someone. Attachment is the desire to be something else. You want a woman because with her, you feel like something else more complete, more alive, more important. But as long as this more remains, attachment doesn't fall away completely. The end of attachment happens when wanting itself becomes loose. Now I will tell you a very deep thing. The day you don't need a woman is the day you can truly see the woman. Need puts a veil over the eyes, and need is not just of the body, it is mental, emotional, existential. Now an illustration. A beggar was standing in front of a palace. He said, "Give me something," the king said. "First, see what you are." The beggar looked. He was standing with his hand stretched out. The king said, "As long as the hand is stretched, you won't be able to see. Attachment is stretching the hand. Silence is dropping the hand. When the hands drop, suddenly you find that what was needed was never gone. Now understand what happens beyond attachment. First, you wanted the woman. Then you started understanding the woman. Now you are just with the woman, no desire to get, no fear of losing. This state is very rare, because here the ego completely gives up. Here there is no claim, no right. And in this moment a miracle happens. The woman is no longer an attraction. She becomes a mirror. With her you descend even deeper into yourself. She doesn't pull you out, she takes you in. That is why I say when attachment dies, then the woman becomes a master. A master means one who introduces you to yourself. Now the woman doesn't come to complete you, she comes to remind you of being complete. Now her beauty doesn't become stimulation, it becomes peace. In her presence, you become more peaceful. This is the test. If you become restless with someone, understand there is attachment. If you become peaceful with someone, understand attachment is falling. Now, a very subtle sign beyond attachment, you don't lose anything, you only lose the illusion. And when the illusion is gone, what remains is the truth. Now I will take you to the final part, where there will be no sermon, no technique, just a direct and simple realization. Listen, now nothing is left to explain. Now only staying is left. Because what was to be understood, you have understood. When I say rise above the attachment to a woman, it doesn't mean go away from the woman. It means be free from dependency. Dependency is attachment, and dependency is always born of fear. Fear of being left alone, of being left incomplete. As long as you are not happy with yourself, any relationship will bind you, because then you are not loving. You are feeling your lack through someone else. Love comes from wholeness. Attachment comes from incompleteness. Attachment doesn't fall by fighting. It doesn't fall by sacrifice. Attachment falls by seeing. The day you just watch the wanting arising within you without calling it right or wrong, that very day the wanting starts to become loose. Watching is the greatest practice. Gradually, the wanting gets tired. And when wanting gets tired, it drops on its own. Then there is no sacrifice, no struggle, just an understanding descends. Now, looking at a woman, you don't become restless. Her beauty doesn't become stimulation. She's beautiful, that's all. Now you don't want to get anything from her. And you are not afraid of losing her either. This is liberation. In this state, the woman does not remain a bond, she becomes a fellow traveler. Now you don't go to someone like a beggar. Now you are complete within yourself. Remember, the one you can want without needing is the only one you can truly love. Now there is no rule, no sermon. Next time attraction arises, don't fight it. Don't suppress it. Just watch it. By watching, attachment will melt on its own. And one day it will be clearly seen the woman is not a bond, she is a door that leads you to yourself. Now the words end. Now the experience begins.